3 minutes for my flight was fixin' to take off. Right as them flight attendants started their final walkthrough to check seatbelts, my phone buzzed in my hand. I got a photo. Just one single picture, no words, no sorry. I know nothing. But it was plenty enough to put an end to 3 years of marriage right then and there. In that picture, my husband was standin' outside a delivery room. He was just standin' there, hands gripped together so tight his knuckles were white, shoulders shakin'. Through that hospital glass, I could see his face was all twisted up with worry, like his whole world was faddin' away behind them closed doors. And in all our years hitched, I'd seen him every which way mean-spirited when we'd argue, cold as a stone, or just plain lookin' right through me, but never not once had I seen him tore up like that over a woman's. The woman in that room, she was his first love, and she was having his baby. And it's a real kicker, because that very day was our 3rd anniversary. That morning, he lit out of the house early, didn't even look my way, let alone say happy anniversary. He just mumbled something about a big meetin' with some partners and told me, don't bother waitin' up and me, having the heart of a fool. I tried to make myself believe him. I spent the whole dang afternoon at the store, picking out the best scallops to sear up with that lemon butter sauce he's so fond of. I laid out a fresh tablecloth, lit some candles, and put out a bunch of white roses I'd ordered special, just 'cause he'd mentioned lickin' 'em once. I did every bit of it hoppin' that maybe, just maybe, if I was sweet enough and tried hard enough, he'd finally come on home to me. Well, 1 hour crawled by, then 2, then 3. That food on the table went from sizzlin' hot to cold as ice, and the butter started turnin' gray and thick. Them flowers were still pretty, but the house was so quiet it made my ears ring. Settin' there in the dark, I sent him a short text, "Where you at?" 3 minutes later. That photo popped up. Then came a message from his assistant sayin' he'd turned his phone off 'cause he didn't want nobody botherin' him while he was waitin' at the hospital. I just sat there at that lonely table and laughed, a dry, a hollow laugh. It turns out, while I was countin' every second waitin' on him, he was busy frettin' over another family, a place where he truly felt he belonged. I looked down at that plate I'd spent hours fixin', and one by one, I scraped it all into the trash. I didn't throw it out 'cause it was cold. I threw it out 'cause I finally saw that the man I'd hoped would sit across from me hadn't been there for a long, long time. I used to reckon if I just loved him more or did more, or put up with more, that ice around his heart would melt. But that cold, hard truth woke me up: if a man don't choose you, it don't matter how much of yourself you pour out for him, it'll never be enough. Love ain't about working yourself to the bone to fill a hole that ain't yours to fill. Oh, that night, I didn't holler, and I didn't make no scene. I just got up, packed my things into a little suitcase, and signed them divorce papers I'd been hidden away. As that plane lifted off and the city lights started faddin' under the clouds, I felt lighter than I had in years. I wasn't that wife waitin' by a cold stove no more, and I wasn't livin' in another woman's shadow. In that moment, I didn't need him to choose me, because I'd finally gone and chosen myself. Don't you ever stay nowhere where you're just a second thought, because you're meant to be the only thing that matters to somebody.